I am CNBC's media and sports reporter, Alex Sherman. It is my honor to be joined by Michael Ozanian, the world's preeminent expert on sports valuations, and now part of the CNBC family. Welcome. Coming over 26 years at Forbes, is that right?
Yep, that's right. Yeah, thank you.
Let's get right into this. Michael, you published last week the CNBC inaugural NFL valuations, all 32 teams and their valuations. There was something I want to talk about. It's the local angle since we're here in LA, and I think it's indicative of how you did these valuations and also kind of the sort of secret drivers to how teams are valued. And it's about the Rams and the Chargers. The Rams were number 2 on your valuation list at $8 billion. The Chargers were 26th at $5.8 billion. These two teams share the same city. They share the same stadium. Why, then, are these teams so different from a valuation standpoint?
Well, first, Alex, thank you for that wonderful intro. Every penny I paid you was worth it. It's 3 things: stadium economics, and stadium economics. Stan Kroenke owns the Rams. He built SoFi Stadium and owns it. By virtue of that, the Rams get about 85% of the revenue at SoFi, including non-NFL events, and the Chargers only get about 15%. So think of the Rams and Stan Kroenke as the owner, and the Spanos family and the Chargers as the tenant.
Let's take a look at the top 5 NFL valuations and then the bottom 5. So here's the top 5: Dallas, Rams, Patriots, Giants, and Raiders. Now let's take a look at the bottom 5. Bengals, Cardinals, Bills, Lions, and Saints. How much does winning play into the valuations? I think the Chiefs are 18th. We didn't list them. So would the Chiefs be like 26th if they weren't a winning franchise? Or going back to your stadium economics points, does it not really matter?
Winning matters a little bit. And by that I mean, if you look at a team like the New England Patriots, when they were rolling and winning all those Super Bowls with Belichick and Brady, that enabled the Kraft family to secure long-term sponsorship, sell season tickets. They have a waiting list for season tickets. But the fact of the matter is the NFL doesn't matter if you win 0 games or you win 17 games. It doesn't matter if you're in a big market like New York or LA or in a small market like New Orleans or Green Bay. Shares 67% of its revenue, over $13 billion. So you get that slice no matter what. What it can help you do is, if you control your stadium economics, that's the key thing, it can help you sell sponsorships, it can help you secure a naming rights deal like the Cowboys, get about $20 million a year at AT&T Stadium. So it's great for those types of things. Stan Kroenke was netting, he had Taylor Swift last year, about 6 concerts, I think it was. He was netting over $4 million per concert from that. The Chargers were netting 0.
And so the media rights part of this, because we all know that the NFL signed a $111 billion media rights deal over 11 years. There is an out clause in that after 28, 29. The revenue from the media is shared, right, among all of the teams.
Right.
So that's sort of a rising tide lifts all boats for the NFL. We heard Rob Manfred speak earlier that the ratings are up for baseball. You do valuations not just for the NFL, but for all teams. So is this sort of a rocket to the moon for all sports leagues? Or if you look at baseball, is it not sort of the same value jump we've seen in terms of the NFL? Very
unique to the NFL. Now, the NBA, to be fair, did just get a new media deal, national media deal, where the money's going to be split evenly. That was about 2.7 times its existing deal, if you include what the WNBA is getting as well. But there's nothing that compares to the NFL. Their local media is basically insignificant. It's from preseason games. So the NFL is, 93 of the top 100 live broadcasts. Major League Baseball, on the other hand, you're going to see valuations, with maybe the exception of a couple of unique teams like the Dodgers, the Yankees, maybe 1 or 2 others, flatten out. The Orioles just went for a very small price about a year ago. David Rubenstein bought it because the Major League Baseball gets maybe a quarter of its revenue from local media rights. That money is going to not grow and is starting to go down as the RSN model crumbles. So what you're seeing in the NFL, in my opinion, is very unique to the NFL.
So that's why Rob Manfred's up here talking about wanting to change the RSN model to national
They're
rights.
going to have to. The only question is, Rob Manfred wants to make it part of the MLB model. In other words, a national media model. Now, that's fine. That may be good if you're the Kansas City Royals or, some other small market team. But I don't really know that Hal Steinbrenner and the Yankees are going to be like, sure, take over our local media rights.
Can you talk just briefly, we have like 2 minutes, how do you do this? Like, how do you value these teams?
Well, talk to league executives, talk to team owners, talk to media rights experts, sport bankers, get copies of leases, get documents from things like the Sports Authority, the Tampa Bay Sports Authority, for instance, the places that run these complexes. So they show you what share of the revenue goes to the team, what share of the revenue goes to the municipality. So it's basically putting together a big puzzle and then a little reverse engineering. So if I know two teams like the Giants and the Jets share MetLife, they both share revenues and expenses. If a little birdie lands on my shoulder and tells me exactly what the Jets' revenue from events there were, then I pretty much know what the Giants' revenue from events there was. Likewise with expenses.
So the NFL is allowing for the first time private equity ownership up to 10%. Are these private equity firms starting to knock on your door metaphorically and say, hey, look, you do these valuations, well, tell us.
Not metaphorically, they are.
Oh, they are? All right,
But,
less than metaphorically.
Yeah, no, look, I think the other thing, you mentioned media rights, what the private equity firms want to know is when you look at the NFL, we publish EBITDA numbers, right? But I don't know enough to do like a net income number. I don't know tax rates, not yet anyway. But so here's the thing. Private equity is already in Major League Baseball, the NBA, and the NHL. There are teams in those leagues, particularly the NBA, because they have a soft cap. In other words, you can usurp the salary cap number for your players. They want to know, after I invest in the team, am I going to have to make a capital call? Or am I just going to be able to ride up the price appreciation and make a return that way? And the answer is they're going to ride up. You almost can't lose money in the NFL. It's the only league like that. In the NHL, teams basically budget to break even for the regular season, and if they make the playoffs, they've already paid the players. That's their gravy. That's their profits. There are baseball teams that lose a lot of money. There are some NBA teams that lose a lot of money. There are no NFL teams that lose money.
See, it's a foolproof investment. Just everybody here, just put your money in the NFL teams. It's that easy. CNBC senior sports reporter Michael Ozanian.
Thanks,
Michael, happy to have you on board. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.